and Robin. It's a great honor to be invited to speak to you. And tonight I'm going to start a little bit different, my speech that I ordinarily give. I'm going to start to tell you about some everyday heroes. And those everyday heroes, only half of it is here. The other person isn't here, which is Jessica. I wanted to write a letter to the Plainview newspaper, but I never got it done. So I take the opportunity tonight to thank this couple particularly. There are many other people that I need to thank, but they especially did something for me. October 10th, I was at a speech contest with Toastmasters, which you probably have heard about. We're trying to get a club started in Plainview, and please come and join us sometimes and just see what we're all about. It's a great organization. Anyway, I was at this speech contest in Lake City, and Jeremy and Jessica were, I don't know, Erin, were you there? And Rose was there. And I blew a gasket right here, right in the middle of a speech. And I think that's why Jessica isn't here. She's afraid I'm going to do this again. She has been very nervous every time I speak that I have another stroke. Anyway, when that happened in the middle of the speech, I fell over, and Jeremy took my car, called my family. Jessica stayed with me. We went to Lake City to the emergency room. She stayed with me. She took care of everything. She went to Rochester when they moved me by ambulance to Rochester. She stayed the whole night. She stayed with me. And Jeremy took care of my car. And I don't know what to say, how I can thank them. They've done so much for me. And they have done so much for the organization Toastmasters. And the way it sounds, they're doing a lot for this organization and in general for the public of Plainview. So Plainviewers, you are lucky to have the new residents because they haven't been here all that many years. And they are with both feet in the community helping. And I think Jessica is running the Girl Scout group, and which is so important, the young people, and maybe Erin will start the 4-H club, you know. I think all of that is so important to keep the young people going. But anyway, my story, I'm no hero. I'm just happened to be born in Germany, 1942. Put your calculators away, I'm 66. 1942, if you know World War II, they were right in the midst of World War II. Just kind of keep that in mind. Anyway, I grew up after the war ended, and in 1960, a gentleman came to the little town or village, Borstel by Pferden, near Hamburg. The northwestern part of Germany. This gentleman came, Paul Volker from Fort Dodge, Iowa, looking up his ancestors, and I happened to talk to him, and he said, "You'd like to come to America?" Oh my gosh, you know, I was 17 years old. America, America. It's like this castle, and all you get to do is look inside from the outside. Anyone that would have an opportunity to come to America, who wouldn't? After Paul Volker left, I asked my father, I said, "Can I go to America?" And he said, "Gifto Goni." I think you can kind of guess what that might have meant. No way. I'm the youngest of 4. I was never a bad girl. I was always a little, well, trying to kind of look into this and look into that, and just step a little bit like a horse, you know, kind of step over the reins a little. And he didn't trust me a whole lot. But then a month later, unbeknown to my mother, he came to the breakfast table and he said, they lived through the communist time, and my father was against Nazism and Hitler and all that, and it was very, very bad. None of you, and even I, can really not totally imagine how bad it is. You don't know that your next door neighbor is not a Secret Service person. They look in the window and they see you reading your Bible. They see you say prayers, and that was against the rule. If they had church service, there'd be an SS man next to the pulpit to make sure that guy wasn't saying the wrong thing. It is unbelievable what happens under that kind of regime and how they can brainwash people. And my father lived through that. And in the 60s, yes, the war was over. The American soldiers were in Germany protecting Germany from the communists coming over. We were as close to communism as you are to Wisconsin. I know Iowa would be kind of a danger, but but you know, it's hard to imagine. And one step, my dad always thought, the communist is going to come back. We are so small, even though with the Americans protecting our land, and the British, in our area were the British soldiers. So he thought about it, and he thought if less children of his would not have to worry about the freedom, he gave me permission to come. I rode to Folkers, and 6 months later, Fort Dodge, Iowa, by that time I was 18 years old. I started in Fort Dodge, Iowa, lived with Folkers, learned the language. I didn't know any English when I came. Yes, I did. I knew I don't speak English. That's the only thing I knew. And it's interesting to learn another language when you just get dumped in, you know. I didn't have, Mr. Forker knew some German, but Mrs. Forker didn't know any. And it got pretty interesting. She was a school teacher, second grade school teacher, and I had to have a job lined up. I was a legal immigrant. I had a green card. And in order to get that green card, before I came, I had to have a letter from somebody to saying they would give me a job, and that was in Fort Dodge at the Lutheran Hospital, and that's where I worked, cleaning rooms. And I had 2 pockets, and I had a piece of paper and a pencil in there, and I always, every day I wrote down 3, 4 words, and when I would come home, Clarabelle would say, Hannah, what did you learn today? And that's how I learned English. I think pretty well anyway. I mean, I've been here a long time, I better know it by now. So